What is the new flashpoint in India's northeast insurgency war?
Banned group ULFA carried out an ambush on an Indian Army camp in Assam's Tinsukia district, injuring at least 3 soldiers. The attack
Why Ulfa has attacked Indian Army. Has insurgency declined or it is just out of our plain sight? Assam is in news again, but this time not for the right reasons. A region that has been seeing declining insurgency has been marked by a rare incident where the Indian Army was attacked in the Tinsukia region in the Upper Assam. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh and today we are going to understand this rare incident which has been labelled and taken responsibility by Ulfa-I as Operation Vengeance. How this is much more than just an internal security concern, how it has geopolitical dimensions that need to be understood and tackled well in time. So let us start with understanding that what exactly has happened. So basically Ulfa-I, that is Ulfa Independent Organization, which is labelled as a terrorist organization under UAPA Act. Now this organization has attacked the army camp at Kakopathar, which is in Tinsukia district, and the problem here is that this is one of the rare incidents that have taken place in the region where we have seen declining insurgency. यहाँ पे इस पर्टिकुलर इंसिडेंट में किसी तरीके की कैजुअलिटी नहीं देखने के लिए मिली, बट फिर भी यहाँ पे इंजर्ड सोल्जर्स जो है वो देखे गए और यहाँ पे आर्मी का प्रॉम्प्ट रिएक्शन ही था जिसकी वजह से किसी भी तरीके की मेजर डैमेज जो है नहीं हो पाई है. So as of now, there has been a search operation that is going on by Assam Police and Indian Army to look back and understand what has happened and accordingly take actions. Now, after this attack was done, that is when United Liberation Front of Assam Independent, they came and claimed responsibility and उन्होंने इस ऑपरेशन को नाम दिया ऑपरेशन वेनेजेंस. You have to understand this name is coming as a that they are re-attacking, they are responding, and this can be understood with parallels that it was claimed that Indian Army has carried out drone strike in the Myanmar region. It was called out from many sources, but Indian government never confirmed it. So Operation Vengeance coming in now can be understood that attack probably took place and Ulfa-I is now retaliating to it. Now let us understand that what exactly is Ulfa-I. So when we are talking about Ulfa-I, United Liberation Front of Assam, independent faction, this is a secessionist outfit and United Liberation Front of Assam was found in 1979. Right. Now after some time, Ulfa split into two factions. There is one faction that is pro-Tox, the other faction is Ulfa Independent. So the Ulfa Independent is more active, is more insurgent in nature and aggressive as well. The whole idea of creating Ulfa was that there will be a sovereign and independent Assam जो कि separate होगा India से. That means this organization was looking for an independent Assam. And इस faction की अगर हम बात करें Ulfa-I की, तो यहाँ पे इसके मेन कमांडर परेश बरुआ है और इस वक्त वो ऑपरेट कर रहे हैं म्यांमार और चाइना बॉर्डर से, not currently present in India. Now, as I told you, there are two factions. Can you tell me in the comment section in which year Ulfa split into pro-Tox Ulfa and Ulfa-I? As I said, Ulfa is a more hardline faction और यहाँ पर Ulfa-I ने सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के साथ या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के साथ किसी भी तरीके का डिस्कशन करने से मना कर दिया है जब तक डिस्कशन सोवरेनिटी के बारे में नहीं हो रही हो. गवर्नमेंट के साथ पीस डायलॉग में इंगेज है pro-Tox Ulfa since 2011. Now you can understand when Ulfa-I wants to bring its intent on the table, mark on the map, this is when such sporadic activities, insurgent activities we have seen by Ulfa-I, and this incident is also a rare one. Now let us move ahead and understand another important dimensions about the fact where this incident has taken place and why that region is strategically important. So if we talk about Tinsukia district, it is this district which is marked in red. So you will be able to see here clearly that this is the Arunachal Pradesh region we have here, whole of this, right? And then we have Assam here. Assam has been clearly marked also. So it is in Upper Assam, it shares border with Arunachal and it lies very close, you can see clearly, it lies very close to Myanmar border as well, making it geopolitically sensitive. Furthermore, it is part of the Golden Triangle, which was an opium route between three countries. Can you tell me in the comment section which were the three countries which are known as the Golden Triangle for opium trade in Southeast Asia? अब ये रूट जो यूज होता है, वन ऑफ द कंट्रीज, आई विल गिव यू द हिंट, इट्स म्यांमार. तो ये रीजन जो है उस गोल्डन ट्राइंगल के रूट में पड़ता है, इसलिए सेंसिटिव है. इसके अलावा यहाँ पे जो ज्योग्राफी है इसको वो फर्दर फैसिलिटेट करती है. द ज्योग्राफी इज इट हैज डेंस फॉरेस्ट and it has riverine tracks which can be easily used by Ulfa I for guerrilla operations, just like the one that has been carried. And that is why this region has been used as a corridor by Ulfa I to enter and go back into Myanmar's Sagaing region. And it also facilitates the China-Myanmar border entry, which has been the safe haven of United Liberation Front, independent faction and Paresh Bura, and also certain allied groups that we see in the northeastern regions. For example, if we talk about Nagaland, then we have NSCN, KYA. Now these organizations take the advantage of the border area as well as the geography and the external factors that support them. That is why this region also becomes an important factor to understand. Now let us move ahead and understand if actually insurgency has declined in northeast or not. So on real grounds, the answer would be yes. It's not just that it is out of plain sight. Yes, the insurgency has declined and this has happened sharply in the last decades. If we talk about many peace accords that have been signed in last 10 years, Bodo Peace Accord 2020, then we have Karbi-Anglong Agreement 21, NLFT Accord of 2019, all these have been to address the insurgency, but it has been Ulfa I which has remained aggressive and an active militant outfit in Assam. However, in those terms also the violence has comparatively decreased, because if you look at the data of 2013, 1700 plus violence incidents, and now it is close to 200 as per the data from last year. But still, Ulfa I keeps getting on sporadic attacks to mark their visibility and also work on recruitment. Now the question is, what are the implications to it and what has been the government doing it? So first let us look into the implications. अगर हम यहाँ पे implications की बात करेंगे तो सबसे पहले internal security, जैसे मैंने कहा कि वो एक obvious implication है, उसे समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है. तो internal security में ये ऐसे attacks जो है वो डायरेक्टली अंडरस्कोर करते हैं और हाईलाइट करते हैं कि ये कुछ ऐसे एरियाज हैं जहां पे वल्नरेबिलिटीज हैं और वल्नरेबिलिटीज बॉर्डर डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में हमेशा से ज़्यादा रही हैं. तो यहाँ पर एक फोकस रिक्वायर्ड है. साथ ही साथ फोकस हम कैसे बेहतर कर पाएंगे या विजिलेंस जो है कैसे बेहतर कर पाएंगे? वी नीड टू ब्रिंग इन tech enabled intelligence and also we can use community participation for vigilance. Another implication comes from the diplomatic angle, जहां पे हम geopolitical ties की बात कर सकते हैं. India and Myanmar both are neighbors and their ties can be affected अगर यहाँ पे इंडिया किसी भी तरीके का क्रॉस बॉर्डर ऑपरेशन करेगा. इसके अलावा we have to remember that China had a thing for expansionism. यहाँ पर एक ग्रोइंग इन्फ्लुएंस है चाइना का हमारे सारे ही नेबर्स पर, चाहे हम बांग्लादेश की बात करें, पाकिस्तान तो हमेशा से चाइना का फ्रेंड रहा ही है, और म्यांमार पे भी. तो यहाँ पर इंसर्जेंट नेटवर्क्स तक पहुँचना और उनको यूज़ करना हमारे खिलाफ ये भी ज़्यादा दूर नहीं है, और इससे हमारे लिए जियोपॉलिटिकली मैनेज करना चीज़ें स्पेशली चाइना के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में और डिफ़िकल्ट हो जाएंगी. इसके अलावा थर्ड इम्प्लीकेशन की अगर हम बात करें तो सोशल इम्प्लीकेशंस है, जहां पे सोशल अनरेस्ट हमें देखने को मिल सकता है। अगर हम यहाँ पे काको पत्थर की हिस्ट्री की बात करें, जहां पे पहले ह्यूमन राइट के प्रोटेस्ट हो चुके हैं, दैट मीन्स यहाँ पे सिविलियन सेंसिटिविटी जो है वो ऑलरेडी हाई है, और यहाँ पे और फर्दर किसी तरह का इंसिडेंट जो है वो अनरेस्ट की सिचुएशन जो है क्रिएट कर सकता है। तो ज़रूरी है कि जहाँ पर हम सिक्योरिटी की बात कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे ह्यूमन राइट्स को उसके साथ बैलेंस करते रहें। अब आते हैं डायरेक्टली कि गवर्नमेंट जो है इस सिचुएशन में अभी तक क्या कर रही है और कैसे ये चीज़ें जो है एड्रेस होंगी। सो गवर्नमेंट यहाँ पे टू प्रोंग्ड अप्रोच यूज कर रही है। फर्स्ट, गवर्नमेंट इज फोकसिंग ऑन डेवलपमेंट एंड डेवलपमेंट के साथ साथ इंटीग्रेशन, और यहाँ पे डायरेक्ट जिम्मा दे रखा गया है डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न रीजन डेवलपमेंट मिनिस्ट्री और पीएम डिवाइन को। इसके अलावा यहाँ पे मिलिट्री रिस्पॉन्स भी काफ़ी टारगेटेड है, सो दैट एनी काइंड ऑफ वायलेंट फैक्शंस उनको आइसोलेट किया जा सके और उनको रिस्ट्रिक्ट किया जा सके। इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में जैसे मैंने बोला, उल्फा का प्रो फैक्शन जो है वो हमसे बात कर रहा है, दे आर ऑन द टेबल, डिस्कशन इज गोइंग ऑन, बट उल्फा आई इज स्टिल मिलिटरीली एक्टिव। However, there have been efforts to bring Ulfa I on the table as well, but nothing concrete has been able to come out yet. Now, what do you think about such situations and Northeast insurgency's decline in recent years? Let me know in the comment section. That was all from my side. Thank you so much.